This is Janet Diane Moya Swerdlow without Stewart A. Swerdlow because he is traveling back from Mexico as I speak with a lot of secrets that he's going to be putting together for our October conference, Hidden Histories and Mysteries Digging Deeper. So it's just me today, and I'll be brief. I just have a few stories that I wanted to share with you that I think are important. And I'm saving some of my really interesting stories for when Stewart gets back because I, like you, I want to see the look on his face when I tell him some of these. So, anyway, Janet Diane Moya Swerdlow for expansions.com, third week in May. All right, the first thing I want to tell you about is, quote, terrorism has gone viral because, according to U.S. lawmakers and officials, that there is a growing network of jihad-inspired attacks. And apparently, according to Texas GOP Representative Mike McCall, chairman of the House Committee on Homeland Security, he says, quote, I think there's been an uptick in the stream of threats out there. We're seeing these directives on almost a daily basis. It's very concerning. Terrorism has gone viral. Now, of course, this follows the May 3rd attack by two gunmen outside a, quote, Draw Muhammad event in Garland, Texas, which I think is totally silly to start with. But anyway, what they're trying to do, as you probably already know, is instill fear in the population. They're claiming that the Islamic State terror group has thousands of English language followers on Twitter, including many in the U.S. And this is a question I have posed to you before. How can the Islamic State terror group even have an account on Twitter unless somebody is allowing it there? Because you hear every day about how social media people, this little guy here and there, is all shut down because of something they say or they did. So the Islamic State terror group can only have an account on social media if somebody is allowing that. So I want you to think about that, please. Now, officially, they're saying that the group is increasingly steering followers into forums that allow for encrypted communications that can be harder for law enforcement officials to access. And again, I don't believe any of that. That's up to you whether or not you want to believe it. Apparently, the Islamic State is encouraging followers to travel to Syria to join the self-created caliphate there. But if they can't do that, this is what one of the officials says, quote, to kill where you are, unquote. The siren song sits in the pockets on the mobile phones of the people who are followers on Twitter. It's almost as if there's a devil sitting on the shoulder saying kill, 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 kill all day long. That's a trigger, that word kill, kill, kill. Then we have the Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson says that the U.S. is facing a new phase of terrorism in which a so-called lone wolf terrorist inspired by Islamic State propaganda on social media could strike at any moment. Again, there's that social media. They cannot be on social media unless somebody allows them on social media. Now we have Senator Dianne Feinstein from California, who is the top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee, says, I think, quote, that the Islamic State's message is kill, kill, kill. So here we have that trigger word again. She said this on NBC's Meet the Press. Now, the interesting thing is, I'm going to go back to social media, is for those of you who were following the Nepal earthquake, there was a big story about four I think men, who were found in the rubble by their heartbeats. So here we're finding people in the rubble of Nepal by their heartbeats, but we can't find the start of who is doing the social media terrorist stuff. Again, that makes absolutely no sense to me. Okay, moving along. Obama supposedly is ordering illegal aliens to be admitted into the military. According to his directive last fall, the U.S. Army is enlisting illegal aliens who are so-called, quote, dreamers into his ranks. Now, I could not find out in my research why they call them dreamers, how that term started, but that's what the news says. Apparently, since January, the Army has enlisted 81 illegal immigrants who received deportation deferrals under the Obama administration's Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, which makes me wonder, are these children? Because why would it be under this specific program? But again, I couldn't find out any information. Perhaps you can enlighten me in some of the things that you know. But this is a big debate. And I've heard it said that illegal immigrants who come in, they'll put them in there whether they want to be there or not. Or if they have a certain set of skills, they'll put them in there that the Army is deficient on, or the military, I should say. And I've also heard it said that we can't do this because they're taking jobs away from American citizens and they're actually letting some people in the military go. So why would we want to have illegal immigrants come on board? So I think there's a lot more going on, and maybe we'll hear about it, maybe we won't. Now, did you hear that the Pope canonized 2 saints from 19th century Palestine? Apparently, Pope Francis has canonized 2 nuns from what was 19th century Palestine in hopes of encouraging Christians across the Middle East who are facing a wave of persecution from Islamic extremists. Now again, this reminds me of the Crusades. It says that this was the first canonization of saints from the Holy Land since the early years of Christianity. So again, back to the Crusades. And of course, as you know, not everybody considers Catholicism Christianity. There are Protestants, and sometimes there are Catholics, and sometimes there's a big division in what a person, or how a person is defined as a Christian, even in the so-called Christian world. So a lot of division going on there. Now, moving right along to imprinting. I don't know if any of you saw the Cannes Film Festival that just happened here recently, but there was a Russian actress, Elena Lenina, who they claim was straight out of the Hunger Games because she had a wild gown with wings, unquote, not to mention, quote, the Marge Simpson-inspired updo. And then they went on to say that she was straight out of the Hunger Games capital. So, of course, how do the powers that be, the global powers, imprint you is, first of all, you look at something and you laugh and you say it's ridiculous. Well, you couldn't help it, miss her, because yes, she had this beehive hairdo that was up probably 2 feet above her head. However, in the midst of all of that, she actually looked very stylish. So if you have a chance, take a look at the link and see what you think, because I think you're going to be seeing more of this, because they're trying to bring people into a different state of being versus what they are now. And as I said, I think the Hunger Games book is going to be a prototype for things to come. So please check that one out. There is a gentleman in Australia, a Mr. Alan Ferguson, who claims that he has personally had over 500 close encounters with UFOs. And on this link, he has some excellent pictures, which I want you to take a look at when you have a chance. However, he says, I have answers, but the information cannot be told to the general public. I can't go into any more as it would blow your mind, unquote. So anyway, again, this is on mainstream news in the UK Daily Mail. On Ceres, scientists are finding more what's being called alien flashes. These are the closest ever images of the dwarf planet that show more mystery spots in more detail than ever before. The scientists are at a loss on how to explain the bright spots. However, they're calling it everything from salt flats to giant ice volcanoes. And now they're saying that there appear to be a series of several smaller lights grouped together, but they won't have any answers for you until the dawn gets a little bit closer. Now, this was one of my most interesting stories today, I thought. It's called The Devil's Bible. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. I had not. Apparently, this is a cursed medieval manuscript that legend says was drawn by Lucifer himself. It's called the Codex Gigas, and apparently it is in a library, the National Library of Sweden in Stockholm, and nicknamed the Devil's Bible. Now, I don't know if you've been to Stockholm. I have, but it is also, I would say, a very mysterious place. So if you have a chance to go, and I think especially at City Hall, which to me looks more like the palace, you need to tour that because it's absolutely an amazing place with a lot of symbolism that you will not believe unless you see it for yourself. Anyway, this book is the largest surviving medieval manuscript in the world. And handwriting analysis says that the text was written by only one scribe. It is so large that it is said to have required more than 160 animal skins to complete. It's 9 inches thick, 36 inches tall, and it is so big that supposedly it takes 2 people to lift it because it weighs 165 pounds or 74 kilograms. It's leather bound and has vellum pages. The legend says that it was a monk from the Middle Ages who was sentenced to being walled up alive for breaking his monastic vows. So to avoid punishment, the monk promised to write in a single night a book containing all human knowledge. As midnight approached, the monk was desperate, turned to Lucifer for help, and offering to make a pact to finish the book in exchange for his soul. So Lucifer agreed and signed the work by adding a self-portrait of himself in the middle of the book. And it's a colorful image against an empty landscape framed by 2 large towers. Now, there has been a lot of handwriting analysis done on this book, and apparently they do agree that it was only one scribe who composed the entire manuscript, and they said that because of the calligraphy that's in the Devil's Bible, that it would take 5 years of non-stop writing to recreate it. Now, the other interesting thing is that the book actually begins with the Old Testament of the Bible. It's followed by 2 works by Flavius Josephus, who lived in the 1st century AD. It ends with the New Testament, and then it has the last long works called the Chronicle of Bohemia by Cosmas from Prague. So apparently there is a lot of what people would call evil spells, for lack of better words, alongside the Christian text with this huge picture of the devil in the middle. Now, some researchers say that the legend of the punished monk comes from a misunderstanding in the signature of the book, which reads Hermanus Inclusus. Apparently, the single Latin word inclusus was thought to signify a horrific punishment, but the word's true meaning is really closer to recluse. That's what they're telling us. Anyway, it's a very interesting book, obviously, and there's a reason they're bringing it out at this time, because of all the events, as you know, that are getting in alignment to happen. And my last story is actually a happy story. It's about playgrounds being designed specifically for, quote, aging residents in England, Finland, Germany, and throughout Asia. And the idea is just now taking off in in the US. The parks actually feature low-impact exercise equipment designed to promote balance and flexibility. The idea, quote, behind the equipment is to get seniors to stay active and to prevent them from falling. Improving balance is important because a fall can be physically and emotionally devastating for seniors, plus it's just fun, unquote. So yes, I think I would like to try one of those kind of parks. I think it does sound like fun. Anyway, that's my last story, but I wanted to remind you about a lot of our events that are coming up, and as I mentioned, Stewart is on his way home from Mexico as I'm speaking to you right now, with a lot of very interesting news. Those of you who have been following us on Facebook have seen a lot of his pictures posted, so I hope you've enjoyed those of the pyramids and the caves and all kinds of ancient things going on. And we have joined a new alliance with Speedstar, who is going to be sponsoring our events in Europe from now on. And so I'm getting ready to post that on the website, but just so you know, we will be having some very excellent early bird ticket pricing on for these cities, for London, Istanbul, Karpash, Trier, and Amman. So please check out the website because those will be going up very soon. In August is our next big event here in St. Joseph, Michigan, which is our radionics seminar, and I've mentioned before that's filling fast. We have a lot of interest in that, and we need to have you register as soon as possible because we have the person who's building the boxes to our specifications specifically for you. So once you register, a box will be built for you to have here at the seminar. We will teach you how to use it, and you will take it back with you. We also have remote radionics sessions, which people are saying they're getting very excellent results from. And of course, by law, we have to tell you that they are for entertainment purposes only. And let's see, of course, in October is our main conference, which I mentioned in the beginning, Hidden Histories and Hidden Mysteries, Digging Deeper. We will have Dr. Samir Osmanagic here, who is the discoverer of the Bosnian pyramids. He does an excellent slide presentation, and you can ask him all the questions you want. We will have Mary Sutherland here from Wisconsin, who is a paranormal researcher, paranormal author, and a paranormal tour guide. So if you need something interesting to do this summer, check out Mary Sutherland. You might want to go to Burlington, Wisconsin and join one of her tours this summer. And then after our fall conference, Stewart will be heading back to Europe. So again, you'll want to watch the website for more information on that. So again, I invite you to please like our Facebook pages and to sign up for a membership, because we have a lot of interesting things going on right now. This is May. The month is an Everything is Possible month, and that is the title of my blog. We have some excellent discussions going on behind the scenes, some great affirmations going on. Stewart has some amazing articles that are posted. So we invite you to join our memberships so you can help support expansions, so we can continue to help supporting you through our research, which we greatly appreciate all of your help. So with that said, I'm going to tell you goodbye, and I will look forward to having Stewart join me here next time. Janet Diane Moya Swerdlow for expansions.com. Bye-bye now.